signal. That's funny. Hey, damn. Hey, Freck. I wasn't recording. Can we tell the how the dude scratch the back of your throat with his dick story one more time, real quick?
Oh, let me hear it, Freck.
First of all, nigga, no, I should have actually texted you that shit.
What you mean?
Oh, well, Timber, text me and tell me.
Damn, why you say her real name?
No. Exactly.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. My bad. We done became more friends in real life, and my bad.
That's funny.
That's why I said no.
Never mind. Don't tell me.
But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Y'all already know what it is, man. It's Tuesday night. So that means we back here going live, talking about the most recent One Mic Stand episode, which, as you can see, it's in the description, it's in the link. Who killed Chivalry, men or women? I'm actually waiting for the subscriber who gave me the idea to talk about this was Rakia, actually. So I'm hoping that she actually joins the discussion tonight. She usually does hop in, but I'm hoping that she does hop in, because she had like text me or message me or something like a couple of weeks ago, and she just kind of like had randomly asked me, you know, how do I feel about Chivalry? Do I feel like Chivalry is dead or whatever? And I remember answering like, I don't feel like it's dead, but I feel like it's endangered. It's an endangered species and shit like that. And we kind of had like a very brief like back and forth, conversation about it. And I was like halfway into our text volley or whatever, I was like, yo, I'm gonna have to do an episode on this, man, because this is kind of interesting. So then I really started thinking about it. I looked up several definitions of what it actually meant, and it kind of surprised me as to what the original definition of it actually means, and then how it just kind of like changed over time or what have you, and into what it means for us today in like modern society. And so, obviously then I did a episode about it on Patreon. And if y'all haven't signed or subscribed to the Patreon yet, that's where you can go to, to view all the episodes, listen to all the episodes. But as usual, every time that I put out an episode, which I do every Thursday, we kind of come back here and reconvene, and kind of I try to open the floor to people so they could, offer their 2 cents or offer their feedback, and then we can have a dialogue and we can have a conversation about it, and hopefully, if we do disagree, at least try to understand one another's perspective if we do disagree on whatever we're talking about, that particular evening or whatever. So that's what we're doing tonight, man. Nothing new. You know what I'm saying? We back to the same format. I'm just kind of waiting for people to kind of, fill into the Zoom. If you do want to join the Zoom, there is a specific tier on the Patreon where you get access to the Zoom link, to the Zoom call. If you don't want to participate in actually having access to any of my other episodes or any of the other type of content that I put up or put out, that's fine. If you just want to be a part of the Zoom conversations, because they are amazing, then you can definitely do that. I am recording the Zoom conversations now, and I am posting those on the Patreon as well as just like the audio versions that I pick out that I feel like is the best part, of the conversation that we have on a weekly basis. But if you want to get those, then you'd have to sign up for like the regular tier, as if you're listening to episodes, because that would be like an episode form. So y'all let me know, man. I guess we about to kick the conversation off. I got I think it's like 6 or 7 people in here right now. I'll let the Instagram live. They go right here now. So I'll let the IG live rock for maybe like another 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. And then I'm actually gonna try something new tonight as well. Instead of letting the IG live run, one of my homies suggested that I actually do a Facebook live, because that's kind of a more conversational type of platform as opposed to Instagram. So I'll probably be switching over from Facebook to Instagram just to kind of see if I can get some new, so like some new audience members or something like that. So Rakia, she just joined us. I was just telling the people about how you can, or how you kind of were the catalyst for this particular topic. So we might as well just start with you. I was telling him how we had a conversation, and you asked me like, did I think chivalry was dead or whatever? And I remember saying like, I don't think it's dead, but I think it's like an endangered species or whatever. And then we kind of went back and forth. So instead of me starting, why don't you just tell us like what made you ask me that question, and then like how did you feel about it prior to the episode, and then do you feel the same way or differently now that you've watched the episode? And I'm assuming that you watched it, so you could, you can tell if you did or not. I don't know, whatever. And Trav, nigga, get your ass in here, nigga.
So y'all want me to give background details? All right, y'all. So I was walking down a busy ass street in Brooklyn. I'm 5 foot. Okay. So when I'm walking and my arm is stretched out, the bag was scraping the ground and the shit broke. I was pissed. Shit broke. I was a couple of feet away from my car, but I just happened to be standing in front of a group of young dudes, and one of the guys that I was standing in front, a group of young boys, one of the boys that I was standing in front of, me and him kind of locked eyes, but it's like we locked eyes. He looked away, and then he heard me talking shit, and then he was like, yo, mister, like, you need help? And then the rest of his friends as a collective decided to help me. And when I was talking to Jack, I was asking him the question on, and it just made me think into some things on if chivalry is a natural instinct or a learned behavior, because I feel like they wouldn't have helped me if he didn't hear me like talking shit. Not that I was talking shit to them, but my frustration and my anger out loud, being that we made eye contact, I kind of felt like he thought that it was directed towards him or the group, but it made me think on if it's a learned behavior or if it's just a natural instinct. Because I think chivalry is 95% away from being existent, and I'm gonna leave that little 5% for those of us who fucking still have hope. Because I couldn't understand, like, y'all see me fucking walking with all these goddamn bags. You see this fucking bag break? You're not gonna at least offer me the help, or it would take for me to get aggressive in order for somebody just being willing to help. After the episode, Jax, for real, I get where you was coming from. I feel like it's a toss up, and I feel like I explained to you when we was talking about it. I think it's the change in perception, because I was taught, mind your fucking business as well too. The men in my family were taught the same thing, but however, they also were raised on manners. Our family taught them manners, how to treat not just women, but people in general, in regards to providing somebody assistance or help if it's warranted. So I kind of feel like, honestly, it's a 50-50 thing, but with the way that society thinks now, with the way that men and women see each other, a lot of women do give off this perception like, oh, I don't need or what the help of a man. And I think that's a false perception, because little people like me need help.
You know what was interesting, and while you were telling your story, is you, without knowing it, I think you still kind of gave off the energy of, in my opinion, what's killing chivalry, right? Like, you seem like your reaction at the fact that they didn't offer to help, your reaction made it seem like they should have, which means that it's really not a courtesy in your eyes. It's more so like, this is something that should have been expected. You know what I'm saying? And I think that notion in itself is kind of what's killing chivalry, because it's no longer a courtesy, it's an expectation. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like I'm saying, like, I don't think that you probably meant for it to be like that, but I just think that that's what, on a massive scale, is kind of like killing it. Because from a male perspective, if we are, and you're in New York City too, so like that's the motherland of mind your own fucking business.
Don't help nobody.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like that's the fucking pinnacle, the apex of that. But then at the same time, again, from the male perspective, it's almost as if like women don't need help until they need it. And then it's like, but you expect for niggas to be at your beck and call as soon as you do need it, though. And that's the part where it's kind of hard for us to read. It's kind of difficult for us to accept, because it's like, even when you don't necessarily need assistance or need help, just respect the fact that it's a courtesy, Like maybe that's the expectation on the male end, right? I'm trying to show you a courtesy, so that's the part where I expect for you to be for you to show some sort of gratitude for that. But then on the flip side of it, it's like I'm not saying that you said this, but I'm just saying from a general sense, it's like I don't need niggas, I don't need no help. Self-made, did all this shit on my own, and then all of a sudden your bag breaks, and then you do need help. Now you looking around for all the niggas who not helping. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a double, it's almost like a double-edged sword in that sense on a macro scale because of the perception thing that you mentioned as well. Because I do agree with you in the sense of I think it is instinctual for one human to see another human in a disadvantaged or a disadvantaged position and then want to assist them. But I think over time, I think the narrative has become, at least in our culture, the narrative has become like Black women have been telling us for so long and so loudly that they don't need us, they don't need our help, they don't need our assistance, they got this shit because they've been getting this shit on their own. So like that's conditioning, that's programming to basically let us know like she got it, she good. Because we're accepting the fact that she got it and she good because she been telling us that she got it and she good for the longest. So, but then it's like, but once we allow you to actually get it and be good on your own, because that's what you tell us now, we the bad guy. And I think that's where the misunderstanding and the miscommunication comes into play, because like I said, a lot of women don't need help until they fucking need it. And then they expect for niggas to be at their beck and call. So y'all can respond to that, or you can respond to that since I was responding to you. And then we can let other people.
In regards to that particular group, it wasn't that I wasn't expecting them to help me. I wasn't cursing at them per se. I was cursing because I had an attitude. I was mad because my bag ripped and I'm on fucking Fulton Ave downtown Brooklyn. Like I wasn't really mad at them. I was cursing out loud, just being upset, and we happened to lock eyes, and I think me locking eyes with him was like that little kicker in her brain. I feel like he went through the stages of thinking like, well, damn, do I help her, do I not help her? Like, and I'm looking at him like, if you thinking it, like, I could use some help. Granted, they helped me, and I'm very appreciative. I'm mind saying thank you, I appreciate that, or anything of that manner. But I know a lot of men right now personally, but it was like, man, she would have to carry them bags by her damn self. And I'm like, damn, like,
but why do you?
That's sad.
That's fucked up.
I do think it's a double-edged sword. I know a rack of women who swear that they don't need or want the help of a man, and they make it so much harder for women like me who need somebody to come help me put these damn pictures up on this high ass ceiling. Because now he thinks that I can do it by myself. I don't want to stand on a ladder. I want to watch you do it. I don't want to do it by myself.
But that leaves me. I don't want to jump too far ahead. But what you just mentioned, I also, and y'all can remind me to come back to this later, is what I kind of had posted earlier today in terms of what role do women really play in chivalry? Because what you just mentioned, right? That's not really chivalrous in my estimation. In my estimation, chivalry is showing strangers appropriate courtesy. Right? Like for men, from a male perspective, if I go in Center City right now and I decide I just want to like go shopping or go to the train, or if I gotta catch the train to go downtown to shop, right? If there's anytime I'm about to get on the train or the trolley or whatever, if it's a woman standing there, chivalry tells me let the woman get on the train first. You get what I'm saying? If I'm going into a store and I see and I notice through my peripherals that that it's a woman about to go into that same store that I'm going into, chivalry tells me step back, open the door for the lady and let her walk in first, right? Strangers, motherfuckers I don't know from a can of paint. First time I ever seen them in my life, probably you'll never see them ever again. That's the responsibility that chivalry has put on men. But the scenarios that women often use or have used today in response to my shit were things that they'd only do for men who are their men who are that they're dating, men that they're involved with, men that they actually know. So that's why I ask, like, is chivalry really just for niggas? Like, do women even have a role in chivalry? What can you do as a woman that could be considered courteous to a man, any man?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, Rakia, would it have been different? And you were not frustrated at the men, and I recognize that. But would you have had the same expectation if there were a group of women standing there? Like, would you have wanted them to also help you?
Yes, I wanted help regardless, okay? Because I had all these bags and my cans is rolling. Go stop my beans from going in the street. I paid for them beans and I want them. It was just in the heat of the moment. I would have taken anybody's help, okay? I'm the type of person, just personally speaking, I speak to everybody with the same level of respect. And because I'm a courteous person, I offer people, random strangers, help if I see that they need help or they look like they're struggling a little bit. Perfect example, I was in a dollar store the other day and the girl who was standing in front of me did not have a shopping, one of them little cart little thingies, and her stuff, she had too much stuff in her hand, it kept falling. And I offered to carry some of the stuff up to the register, being that I'm standing right behind her, just because she couldn't carry it all, to the point that I held her stuff for her while she went and got a cart and then came back. I do things like that just because it's, for me, it's the right thing to do. You see somebody struggling, you offer that type of help. If it was a group of women, I would feel that empathetically they would be able to sense my pain of my beans rolling and would be like, oh shoot, let me stop her beans or let me help her to some extent. So I would have still had the same expectation, yes.
But because the definition given in this episode was something about knights supporting or helping or lending a hand to the weak. So in that instance, if we use that definition, if there were a group of women and they helped you, would that be an act of chivalry from them?
I think so, yes. But based on the definition, I think the definition makes it gender specific towards men in regards to helping others. But I think courtesy is a natural human instinct.
Right, but is courtesy the same as chivalry? I'm trying to understand if there is a universal understanding that chivalry is gender specific, that chivalry is specifically a man helping a woman in any way, shape, or form, or is chivalry gender neutral, where everybody can be chivalrous to anybody, man to woman, man to man, woman to woman, woman to man. That's what I'm trying to understand by your thoughts.
But for me, I think it's neutral. I'm understanding now that it's gender specific. A lot of things are happening to where it's just placed on males, and whereas women, we expect males to do certain things, but I think it's all around board. I can't expect a man to treat me a certain type of way if I don't embody that as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll chime in.
Go ahead. My fault, Trav. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna chime in just to say, majority of it I think is gender specific, but I think it can and can't